Yes. All right. Going to call meeting to order, meeting number 2026-05143.
Tonight's music selection, made by our own Mayor Wasserman, was Miami 2017 by Billy Joel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
At the next City Commission meeting on May 28th, the music selection will be made by Vice Mayor Brody.
I want to see you guys.
As we begin, we kindly ask that all mobile devices be silenced to ensure the best possible sound quality. Please speak clearly and directly into the microphone, and remember to mute your microphone when you're not speaking. Should anyone experience difficulty hearing at any time, please raise your hand and a hearing device will be provided to you. Thank you for your cooperation.
City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Rydell.
Here.
Commissioner Welch.
Here.
Commissioner Raley.
Good evening.
Vice Mayor Brody.
Here.
Mayor Wasserman.
Here.
City Manager Rose.
Here.
City Attorney Piper.
Here.
So tonight we are going to have some people help us do the Pledge of Allegiance. It's going to be our brand new Parks and Rec Director, Janet Hull, and also our brand new Fire Chief, effective in June, Mr. Michael Rodriguez. And our new Deputy Parks and Rec, Danielle. Come on up.
Everyone loves the Manning. Yeah. He should have.
All right. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, right now. Okay. If I might, Mayor and Commission, I'm so pleased to announce Janet Hull has been promoted to the Director of Parks and Recreation and Danielle DeVeris to the Deputy Director. And I just want to say that we conducted 7 external interviews and 7 internal interviews. And every single one of the internal interviews were far superior to anyone we interviewed from the outside. And I think the combination of the two provides leadership from a technical perspective and also from a recreation perspective, and just couldn't be more thrilled. So I wanted to make sure they were here today.
This meeting is being conducted live with a physical quorum present. The material for today's meeting is available online at coconutcreek.gov. Anyone wishing to appeal any decision made will need a record of the proceedings, and for such purpose may need to ensure that a verbatim recording of the proceedings is made, including the testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is to be based. The archive of this meeting may be requested from the City Clerk or may be heard online at coconutcreek.gov. If you haven't already, please silence your mobile devices. If you must take a phone call, then please excuse yourself and step outside. Respect and proper decorum will be maintained throughout the meeting. Vocal outbursts, jeering, cheering, or applause, except for the student awards, can impair the rights of others and derail the decision-making process. Thank you.
Thank you, City Attorney. I also want to give a brief, we usually have a few people from our city who are here during all the meetings, each meeting with us. They stay the whole time. So big shout out to Mike McCluskey from IT tonight, who's going to be with us, Chris Franco from Public Works with us, and also Officer Tara Patton, who's going to be with us till the end. So while we're all here together, they stay with us to make sure the show runs strong, and we're very grateful for them. We're going to start with a proclamation recognizing May 2026 as Mental Health Awareness Month. Commissioner Raley will read the proclamation into the record and present it to NAMI Broward County Representatives Blake Cohen and Susan Agemi.
Thank you. Whereas the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI, Broward's mission is to enhance awareness and provide programs in Broward County that support a world-class system for the treatment and recovery of individuals facing mental health challenges. And whereas NAMI, Broward delivers support, education, and advocacy to nurture better understanding, coping strategies, and positive outcomes for people and their families navigating the complexities of mental health. And whereas mental health conditions are treatable health concerns that are widespread and manageable. And whereas comprehensive health care encompasses mental health care, which must be accessible to all individuals regardless of race, gender, age, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, values, and cultural beliefs. And whereas it is vital that these factors are integrated into treatment, allowing the community to become a bastion of support. And whereas the breadth of the mental health crisis affecting both children and adults is profound, with half of all mental health conditions beginning by age 14 and 1 in 5 adults encountering a mental health challenge in any given year. And whereas prompt intervention leads to more favorable outcomes. However, half of the children and adults living with mental health challenges never receive transformative treatment due to barriers to care and stigma. The resilience and recovery journey of individuals diagnosed with a mental health condition should be celebrated rather than stigmatized. And whereas mental health challenges are not criminal issues, however, individuals with mental health diagnosis are disproportionately represented in jails and prisons. The implementation of crisis intervention training for law enforcement officers, diversion programs, and mobile crisis response teams helps effectively reduce involvement in the justice system and enhance safety. And whereas individuals experiencing mental health challenges are capable of leading meaningful lives and contributing significantly to society. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City Commission of the City of Coconut Creek, Florida, hereby proclaims May 2026 as Mental Health Awareness Month, to promote mental health awareness and inspire those living with mental health challenges to seek support. In witness hereof, we have hereunto set our hands and caused the seal of the City of Coconut Creek to be affixed this 14th day of May 2026, signed by the Mayor, the Vice Mayor, Commissioners, and City Clerk.
Well, first of all, congrats to all the graduates. Round of applause for yourself. This year, NAMI National's message is, in every story, there's strength. That's more than a theme, it's a reminder that behind every challenge is a story of resilience. Behind every diagnosis is a person, and every time we speak up, we help someone feel less alone. Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, and the City of Coconut Creek staff for this important proclamation. I'm Blake Cohen, a resident of Coconut Creek, so very grateful to be here. Round of applause for that. And on behalf of NAMI Broward County, we are honored and grateful for your continued leadership in recognizing May as Mental Health Awareness Month. NAMI is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization. Here in Broward County, we offer free, research-driven support groups, educational courses, and public presentations to individuals and families affected by mental health conditions. Everything we provide is evidence-based and accessible, no insurance required, no cost to attend, making a difference across all of our communities. As we work to end the stigma surrounding mental health, we rely on leaders like you to help raise awareness and keep these no-cost services available to everyone. We receive no state or federal funding and limited local support, so your continued advocacy and partnership truly matter. One way we engage workplaces and organizations is through our Stigma-Free Workplace Initiative, which offers dynamic training and resources to foster mental wellness at work. In fact, I've had the pleasure of conducting 2 of these already with employees of the city of Coconut Creek, and we had a great time. And talking about mental health doesn't always have to be dark and dreary. You can have a good time and discuss the issues that all of us as human beings face. And out of the spirit of continued relationships and commitment to each other, we invite you and everybody here to join us on Saturday, October 4th, put it on your calendars, at Nova Southeastern University for our NAMI Mental Health for All Walk. It's a powerful gathering that celebrates hope, healing, and connection. Every proclamation like this one, helps us reach more people with one unshakable message, that you are not alone. Thank you again for standing with NAMI Broward to support mental health for all of us and to celebrate the strength found in every single story. Thank you.
I spelt it out earlier, NAMY, NAMI, NAMI, so I apologize for doing that earlier. We're going to move on to our next proclamation, recognizing May 17th through the 23rd, 2026 as Emergency Medical Services Week. Commissioner Rydell will read the proclamation into the record and present it to current Fire Chief Brian Blizzard and members of the Fire Command staff.
Thank you, Mayor, and I think it's very telling on the heels of that last proclamation, you know, that some of our first responders have real issues with mental health, and it's something the city has always prioritized. So thank you for allowing me the honor to read this proclamation. Whereas Emergency Medical Services, EMS, Week provides an opportunity to honor the dedication and achievements of EMS professionals, including first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, public safety telecommunicators, firefighters, police officers, and other out-of-hospital medical personnel who serve our community each and every day. Whereas the City of Coconut Creek proudly joins communities nationwide in recognizing National EMS Week, which is May 17th to the 23rd, 2026, the theme of which is Improving Outcomes Together, highlights our shared commitment to supporting and collaborating with EMS professionals as they work to enhance patient care and community safety. And whereas Coconut Creek Fire Rescue's team of highly skilled professionals deliver exceptional fire protection, emergency medical response, life safety, and public education services, ensuring high-quality care for residents and visitors 24 hours a day, 365 days per year. And whereas Coconut Creek Fire Rescue upholds the highest standards in emergency medical services through CAAS accreditation, an innovative community paramedic program, and continued advancements in the field that incorporate cutting-edge technology, specialized trauma procedures, and advanced paramedic techniques. And whereas the City of Coconut Creek recognizes the vital role its EMS professionals play in protecting the community and remains committed to supporting the physical, mental, and emotional well-being as they navigate the unique challenges and the demanding and often hazardous profession. Now, therefore, be it resolved that May 17th to the 23rd, 2026 shall be known as Emergency Medical Services Week. The city extends appreciation to all emergency medical services professionals throughout the state, specifically here in the City of Coconut Creek, as they selflessly rise to the challenge each and every day, save lives, and serve our community with unwavering dedication and compassion. It's signed by Mayor Wasserman, the Vice Mayor, the Commission, and attested to by the City Clerk. Thank you, Mayor.
All right. Thank you to the two of you for reading those proclamations, and we're so glad that Chief Blizzard and his staff is here with us tonight to accept. So our next presentation is why a lot of y'all are here. It's our 17th annual. Yeah, all right, clap it up. Now, what we failed to tell you is by being a part of this, so you got to stay to the whole end of the meeting. So we'll be here till about 9:30 today. No, I'm just kidding. So it's our 17th annual Student Awards Ceremony, recognizing exemplary students from our Coconut Creek High Schools. And today is a day to recognize our amazing students. But first, it's really important we first recognize the parents and families in the audience for their dedication. Let's give it up for them. And while we're at it, what about the people who run our schools, run our classrooms? Let's give it up for our school administrators and teachers. And also, got to recognize our dignitary from Broward County Public Schools, North Regional Superintendent Dr. Jermaine Fleming's in the house. Come on up. He's going to share with us a couple words, and actually, if you're willing, we'd love to have you join us on stage for the photos too.
The mic comes out, Dr. Fleming.
Oh wow, the podium got turned around. Did you do this before?
I saw that. Good evening and greetings from Broward County Public Schools. My name is Jermaine Fleming. I'm the North Region Superintendent, and I'm so excited to be here today. And I got invited on stage for a lot of you students. I'm going to be also shaking your hand when you graduate in a little bit. So I want to tip my hat to the class of 2026. Let's give it up for them. So I'm so amazed of the city of Coconut Creek under the leadership of our commission and our mayor, and how much they love on our students and support our schools. And a lot of cities say it in words, but every time I go to a school is not really a time I don't go. I don't run into one of the commissioners. So they're so engaged in this community, and it's a testament to how much you guys are here and being recognized tonight. So again, I just want to congratulate you and all the leaders in the room, the school leaders as well as the teachers. Thank you for your support. And for the parents, guess what? They're almost off the payroll, guys. Almost. All right, so just hang in there. Graduation is 2 weeks away, and I'll see a lot of you guys there. And again, congratulations.
Thanks, Dr. Fleming. All right, so now I'm going to turn this over to our Government Affairs Manager, Bernadette Hughes, who's going to guide us through this amazing ceremony. And myself and the rest of the commission will be on stage with Dr. Fleming to help celebrate with your students. Bernadette?
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Wasserman. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. There we go. My name is Bernadette Hughes. I'm the Government Affairs Manager for the City of Coconut Creek, so I work with our schools, work with our students, and this is our favorite event of the year. So thank you so much for being here. We're so proud of our students. This is the 17th annual high school recognition ceremony. It started long before I started working in the City of Coconut Creek, and it's just wonderful to see you all here. We are proud to have so many high-performing students attending Coconut Creek High Schools, and I am honored to present the names of our accomplished high school achievers. They are joined by their outstanding principals and administrators here tonight, so when I call the names, I'll just go ahead and preemptively say that. Principals, administrators, teachers, please join the students up on stage for your photo. The students I'm about to call were selected by their high school teachers and administrators as students who excelled in academics, leadership, character, and community service. Each of them truly deserves to be recognized for their outstanding accomplishments. Now, when I call your school, if you would please come up on the right side of the stage, which is my left along the windows, and wait until I call your name. There's really only a couple of you from each school, to receive your certificate for outstanding achievement. The mayor will give you your certificate of achievement, and you should remain on stage while the rest of your classmates are being called for a group photo. And parents, for your benefit, after our wonderful photographer Yvonne takes the photo of the students, all of them together with the principals, you guys get to line up down here and take your own perfect picture. So have fun with that. Now, students, as you leave the stage, you'll be presented with an award from the City of Coconut Creek. We are a sustainable city, and so you're each going to be receiving a reusable smart notebook. It's a rocket notebook. And so you're going to come up on this side, you're going to get your photo, you're going to exit on the other side. Now, I do have, I have a small request for family members, which is basically, I know we have a lot to do. We've got places to go. There's babies crying. They're hungry. I know you're extremely proud of your children, grandchildren, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, everybody who's here. But in the interest of your time, I ask that you please hold your applause until all of the students for each school are up there. Then applaud as much as you want. Holler, do whatever you need. But just as I'm calling the names, I'm going to be reading their accomplishments, and we want to make sure that you guys can all hear their accomplishments. And then before I get started, I do want to recognize 2 administrators. So one of them is a principal and one of them is a teacher. They've been recognized at the county level, and we do want to give special recognition to them here tonight. So let me go ahead and get started. This administrator had a family emergency. She couldn't be here tonight. I know the assistant principal is here, and so what we give her, she's going to take back to her. But I do want to acknowledge and recognize Principal Dr. Nicole Nearer from Coconut Creek High School. Thank you. Yes. Now, she was a finalist for the 2026 Principal of the Year Broward County Caliber Awards, which is very competitive. The Caliber Awards recognizes and celebrates Broward County Public School outstanding teachers, principals, assistant principals, and school-related employees. She's so deserving of this honor. We have a really nice box of chocolates, Godiva chocolates for her. So I know yeah, not you. The assistant principal is somewhere. Yep, you make sure she gets it. So our second recognition is for a teacher from ATC. Is Philip Alleman here? Up? Okay, great. Come on up. So Mr. Alleman is being recognized for Teacher of the Year runner-up for the 2026 School-Based Career and Technical Education CEE Teacher of the Year Award. It's a mouthful. Your strong dedication to your students, alumni, school, and community go way beyond the requirements of your role, and we would love to have you up on stage for a picture.
Come on up.
Did they get recognized as well?
Dr. Fleming, Dr. Fleming, you're in. You're in. Let's go.
If there ever was a time for a butterfly matching bow tie, it is now. It is now.
Let's remind the mayor. No, you're fine right there. Okay, ready? Right here. Thank you.
Thank you.
You need it for our social media. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
Now, Mr. Alleman, don't go anywhere, because we're going to go ahead and call the students from ATC. I can hold your chocolate if you want. I'm not going to take it. I don't trust these teachers and principals, but I won't let anybody have it. So I'm going to go ahead and have, I know Assistant Director Vicki Laporte is also here from ATC. I'm not sure if there's any other administrators or teachers. If we could have you guys come up on the stage, and I'm going to go ahead and get started calling the students from ATC. So if you're here, go ahead and line up along the window there, and I'll call your names. Ready? Okay, our first, remember, I'm going to read a little bit about them after their names, so hold your applause. Our first student is Leticia Aranda, president of Young Women at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, performed multiple community service projects, served at hospitals, Rotary clubs, churches, and was on the AB honor roll. Congratulations. Okay, our next student is Priscilla Manigat, who was vice president of ATC's Poetry Club, member of the Key Club, and performed numerous community service projects, serving at hospitals, events, and church as well. Okay, our next student is Laura Macondes, president of Student Government Association, ATC All-Around Achieve Award, had over 250 hours of community service, and will be attending FAU. Our next student is Ali Petion, President of Business Professionals of America, received awards for participation in Business Professionals of America, including first in video production, and will be attending University of Central Florida. And our last student from ATC is Logan Whitaker, student speaker of the School Advisory Council, multiple industry certifications, Six Sigma Yellow Belt, and will be attending ATC. Parents, come on up in the aisle. Let's give them all a round of applause. So Yvonne, our amazing PIO, is going to go ahead and take their pictures, and you're welcome to come up in the middle aisle and take your own as well.
Make you back up.
Squeeze it a little bit. Everybody on this side, kind of go this way. Everybody on this side, this way, a little bit. Okay. All right.
David.
Mr. Siegel.
That's my baby, Letty.
Congratulations. Okay, our next school is going to be Coconut Creek High School, and I think Assistant Principal Tiffany Soto is here. And if there are any other teachers, administrators, assistant principals, come on up on the stage. Oh, you're talking. I wasn't going to keep it. Congratulations. Hello. Welcome. Mr. Lance is joining us. Okay. Our first student from Coconut Creek High School is Isis Chamorro, President of the Science Club, Class of 2026 historian, and member of multiple organizations including the Latinos in Action, Mentoring Tomorrow's Leaders, and Making Our Schools Safer. Congratulations. Our next student is Alyssa Jacaran, Class of 2026 Secretary, member of Make Our Schools Safe Science Club, and Mentoring Tomorrow's Leaders. She received multiple industry certifications and will be attending Florida A&M. Congratulations. Our next student is Crystalie Jean-Baptiste, received the Cambridge Scholar Award, which means that that's one of the highest scores. They received one of the highest scores in the nation. Recently became a licensed practical nurse. Congratulations. Volunteered as an athletic training student, receiving over 400 community service hours, and will be attending FAU. Our next student is Enrique Mouchette, Class of 2026 Vice President, participated in varsity track and field, over 2,000 community service hours, and will be attending Florida A&M. Congratulations. And we have Daniel Thurn, was a mentor for Mentoring Tomorrow's Leaders. He might need to mentor me in public speaking. Received multiple scholarships, was a member of Business Professionals of America and Make Our Schools Safe, and will be attending Nova Southeastern University. Congratulations. Let's hear it for all of them. Okay, again, parents, come up the aisle and get ready for your photo.
Jackie, okay, here we go. Okay. I went on my toes.
All right, great work, John. Great.
Okay, our next school is College Academy at Broward College, and I understand Assistant Principal Camille Cameron is here. So if there are any other teachers, assistant principals, administrators, please come on up. Now, I also understand tonight is prom at this school, so we only have a couple of students here, but I'm going to go ahead and read all their names. Okay. All right, our first student is Frederick Akinmulero, who is co-president of the Film Club, member of the National Honor Society, receiving multiple awards and scholarships, including the Florida Bright Future, College Board National Recognition, and Junior Achievement, and will be attending Florida Atlantic University. Our next student is Saishia Cox, Music Club Vice President, Head Coach of Dance Team, Black Student Union Vice President, and will be attending Pomona College. And I think this is Rosemi Jean. Nope, not yet. Okay, co-leader for the College Academy Mentoring Program, 2025 winner of the Business Case Challenge Dean's List, will be attending FAU. Next is Ryan Kessler, member of the Principals Advisory Committee, made the President's List for the last 3 semesters, received over 150 hours of community service, and will be attending University of Florida. And last but not least, we have Leilani Naraho, Student Ambassador for College Academy, Vice President of Sports Club at Broward College, multiple award winner and scholarship recipient, and will be attending the University of Central Florida. Congratulations. Okay, give them both a round of applause, and parents, come on up.
Okay. All right, perfect. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Congratulations, guys.
Okay, our next school is Dave Thomas Center. We have Principal Cynthia Crawford and Assistant Principal Jessica Swanson. Any other teachers or administrators, please come on up. And while they're coming up, the students can line up along the wall. Our first student is Madison Fonseca, was Peers of Excellence President from 2024 to 2026, received Catching Me Doing Good behavior recognition in 2025, is a candidate for academic scholarship at ATC, and will be attending ATC. Congratulations. We have Ethan Johnson, member of the 21st Century Program, leader of the Martial Arts Group, obtained 3 industry certifications, a PMI, an ESB, and IT. I don't know what any of those are, and will be attending Broward College. Congratulations. Then we have Tavares McCutcheon, Ambassador Club event planner, A and B honor roll recipient, received 110 volunteer hours for volunteering at a local blood drive and will be attending the Fire Academy and Broward College. Super impressive. And lastly, we have Bridget Scotland, member of Blanche Eli Band, co-captain of the volleyball team, earned prizes for first and second place in an art competition, and will be attending Broward College. Congratulations. All right, parents, come on down. Fantastic. Our next school is Monarch High School, and while I have down here that Assistant Principal Stacy Weaver is here, I know Mr. Cecil is here as well, so come on down and we'll call some names. Okay, our first student is Brielle Finch, and Brielle was president of Student Government Association, a National Honor Society member, varsity high school cheer member, and will be attending Florida State University. Congratulations. Clara Jonas was president of Global Leaders United, has over 309 service hours volunteering throughout the Monarch High School community, and will be attending Broward College. Congratulations. Selena Martinez was vice president of the 2026 senior class, member of the National Honor Society, has over 200 hours volunteering at the Coconut Creek Community Center, thank you so much for that, and other local community projects, and will be attending the University of Central Florida. Leonel Valentin, SGA Vice President of Internal Affairs, Treasurer of National Honor Society, performed multiple community service projects, including serving at hospitals, athletics, and school events, and will be attending the University of Florida. We have Maria Vittorino, president of Global Leaders United, has over 526 service hours by working in different places, including church, school projects, and homeless shelters, and will be attending Florida Gulf Coast University. Let's give them all a round of applause, and parents, come on up. I don't know what I pressed. Thank you.
There you go.
David's in every picture. Awesome. Monarch, all right.
And from North Broward Preparatory School, we have Assistant Head of School Chris Petruzzi here. If there are any other teachers or assistant administrators, come on up. Okay, our first student from North Broward Prep is Luca Mascardi, co-founder of the Math Enrichment Program, classical violinist for the Florida Youth Orchestra, and performed close to 200 community service hours. Congratulations. Then we have Benny Popescu, senior class president, swim team captain, model UN head delegate, and will be attending the University of Austin. Kylan Reynolds, president and founding member of NBPS UNICEF Club, co-founder and project lead of NBPS Social Impact Program, senior company dancer, and will be attending Emory University. Congratulations. Carter Schultz, leadership positions in various honor societies, founder and director of LimFX, a nonprofit that provides free online math tutoring to students with limb differences and their siblings, received multiple awards and scholarships, and will be attending the University of Florida. And lastly, Marin Shank, member of multiple clubs including the National Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, Rho Kappa, and the English Honor Society, president of Let Her Learn, Presidential Volunteer Service Gold Award recipient, and will be attending Northeastern University. Let's give them all a round of applause. Parents, come on up.
You guys made your parents seriously proud. Congratulations. Good? Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Right over.
No, I did not. Cute is it, Jess?
Congratulations.
Honestly, my favorite photos of the evening are when Yvonne takes the photos of you guys. They're great. Keep an eye on our social media page, Facebook, Instagram, because we do post these photos. So thank you all for taking the time to join us here at City Hall tonight to honor these amazing students. On behalf of the entire city and the City Commission, we wish all of the students a wonderful and successful college experience, and we hope to see all of you back here in Coconut Creek when you graduate. You're more than all welcome to stay for our commission meeting. As he mentioned, it might be till 10 o'clock. But thank you so much, and congratulations.
We are going to take a brief 5 to 10 minute break for photos to enjoy the area. So take some pictures. We'll take about a 5-10 minute break. Thank you.
Yes, come on up and get a picture with the mayor.
So, we are now going to, we've just received new documentation. Yep. Yeah, I know. I'm just moseying my way there. We will now have input from the public on non-agenda or consent agenda items. I remind everyone wishing to speak that all comments must pertain to city business. Respect and proper decorum will be maintained. Behavior that disrupts the orderly conduct of this meeting, such as clapping, shouting, booing, and cheering, is not permitted. Any person who violates the decorum rules will be subject to removal from the commission chambers. As a reminder, all comments must pertain to city business. City Clerk Kavanaugh, is there anyone who is signed in to speak on non-agenda or consent agenda items?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Thank you so much. What did you say? Oh. Well, is there anybody here who would like to provide input on non-agenda or consent agenda items who did not sign up? Okay. Well, let's move along to our consent agenda. A motion approving the minutes from previous city commission meetings, 2026-0409R. Resolution 2026-062, a resolution adopting the city's updated community transportation Title 6, program to ensure compliance with Title 6 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, mandating that no person based on race, color, or national origin shall be discriminated against in the access or equal opportunity to participate in the city's public transportation system, and authorizing the city manager or designee to execute the Title 6 non-discrimination policy statement and management commitment to the Title 6 program. Resolution 2026-066, a resolution authorizing the mayor and the city manager of their designees to execute a lighting agreement with the Broward County for the installation and maintenance of pedestrian lighting along the west side of southbound Lyons Road between Winston Park Boulevard and Atlantic Boulevard. And Resolution 2026-047, a resolution authorizing the mayor and the city manager or their designees to execute a traffic signalization agreement between Broward County, GRP, Greenboro 1 LLC, GSR Partners LLC, and the City of Coconut Creek for the purpose of guaranteeing the completion of program traffic signalization warranty studies and the traffic signal installation consistent with the applicable development approvals and county requirements for the Main Street Development Project. Are there any items the Commission wishes to pull from the consent agenda?
Yes.
Yes, Commissioner Welch. Which one shall we pull?
Item 7.
We will be pulling item 7. Okay. Is there a motion and a second to approve items 4, 5, and 6?
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Rydell, seconded by Commissioner Welch. So now we are going to talk about item number 7. Commissioner Welch. Oh, no. Actually, we'll do a vote. Just call him. Please call roll.
Commissioner Rydell.
Yes, Officer Terry Johnson's the saint.
Commissioner Welch.
Yes.
Commissioner Raley.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brody.
Yes.
Mayor Wasserman.
Yes.
Opposed, Tara Pat.
It is Tara.
Commissioner Welch?
Yes. Hello. I just, who's going to be speaking, Michael or Justin? It's my friend Michael. So thank you very much. And the reason I pulled it is because I have belabored this traffic signalization, particularly at one intersection over the years, and I just was hoping that you would walk through the steps once this is approved, where it goes, and just briefly the timeline, because there are residents that are very interested in getting this signalization, particularly at Cullum and Lyons. So if you can do that, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Or Justin, or whoever.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor, City Commission, Michael Righetti, Transportation Manager. The agreement that's before you is basically a document that city staff and Broward County Traffic Engineering have been working on as it relates to incremental analysis of that intersection as we move forward. So the county traffic engineers have certain standards before that signal will go in. City staff has been working with them, advocating on those issues that you brought up to specifically address the analysis, which is really what's going to trigger the full construction of the signal. And so what we agreed upon in this agreement is a compromise at this time, which would allow us to construct a large portion of the signal, majority of the underground work, such as the foundations required for the mast arms, the fiber, the cabinet signalization, all of these things as Main Street moves forward with their different phases and their different blocks. There are trigger mechanisms, both in our developers agreement, in the DRI, and a number of other working documents that specifically call out as they get their certificate of occupancy for those particular units, then the traffic analysis will be performed. So what we're doing in the interim is getting the foundation laid for that traffic signal that's going to be coming at some point in the future. What I can't do is construct a full operating traffic signal without that warrant being justified as per the county standards. So this allows us to do incremental construction. It's orderly development, and it's something that I think that the commission should support as it relates to this particular intersection. I think we all agree that we have a priority of signalizing Cullum Road and Lyons, as well as some of the other intersections like 40th Street and Lyons. This will all be done in a orderly development approach of allowing that to go in, a portion of it to go in, and then let's do the study, let's do the warrant analysis. And at that time, it'll almost sync up, ideally, with how Main Street is developed through the phasing plan. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. And once this is approved by this commission, where does it go, and then will it have to come back to any other commission subsequent?
I don't think it goes to the county commission.
Yeah, when this is approved tonight, they're going to put this on the county commission. I believe it's going to be in June. I don't know the exact date at the moment, but this is first step, and then this is taken and put it on the county commission for their approval as well.
And then it does not need to return to them or us. It just begins as the certificate of occupancies occur in those different phases?
Right. So this is a requirement for their plat and getting their plat recorded. And this agreement satisfies a number of different agencies within Broward County, specifically as it relates to Broward County Traffic Engineering. So they actually went above and beyond what they normally do in their policies of amending this agreement in order to help the city of Coconut Creek get the foundation in for this particular signal as it's going forward. So like I said, this is a constructive way of programming and forecasting what inevitably will occur, which is a full operational signal. There's a number of other things that are going to help contribute to the warrant. Some projects that may be changing within Main Street that might help contribute to a future signal, and as well as the city's fire station, which were not part of the initial analysis that was done.
Right.
We are doing a site-specific traffic study for the fire station, but a combination of all of these things, the approved Main Street development and its application, as well as what may change, and then the fire station. So all of these things are going to help contribute to getting those warrants achieved. And like I said, the timeline of those warrants and studies are going to be based on how the development goes forward. So X number of COs done by a certain phase, that's going to trigger those types of warrants. So again, this is a good amended agreement that the city staff is in support of as it relates to the importance of signalizing that intersection.
And I really appreciate it, because to me then it gives clear validity to the signalization, particularly at those intersections, by the infrastructure being put in place before the active signals. So I really do appreciate it a lot. And thanks for listening and passing it on, and for it being included in part of this.
Commissioner Rydell?
Thank you. I wasn't going to speak on it, but I don't have the opportunity to give you guys kind of an update on some of these issues prior, so I'll give you the update accordingly. Mike, you'd agree with me, county staff kind of bent over backwards on this one a little bit?
That's correct.
Okay, so just to advise you all, there's 2 traffic signal issues. I was asked by Sheila, I'm not doing this publicly, but because I knew we were voting on it, to contact Mayor Bogan. Mayor Bogan has bent over backwards on 2 issues. This is 1 traffic signal the county has bent over backwards on. There's a 2nd traffic signal that's going to be there that Mayor Bogan is extremely instrumental in helping on. So I will just say the county's going to put it on in June. It's not, I don't want to speak to that, but I think county staff is in full support of it to take it to the commission. And both this traffic signal and ultimately the next, which I know are your biggest concerns because they were district concerns when we were talking about Main Street. Mayor Bogan, Mark is committed to advocating on those issues, and I know that's also a crucial issue to, I mean, the developers here, and I don't know those conversations of who's had what, but those conversations are extremely critical to get those approved, and we'll call them 3/4 done, whatever you want to call, for the purposes of what they're doing. So I just want to advise our county commissioner rep, who happens to be the mayor, is extremely engaged, advocating and guaranteeing that regional activity center that we're developing is going to be a priority. Thank you.
Well, it won't go unnoticed, and I will thank him. Thank you.
Anything else from the dais? Motion and motion and second for
move 7.
Thank you. City Clerk. It was moved by Commissioner Rydell, seconded by Commissioner Welch.
Commissioner Rydell?
Yes.
Commissioner Welch?
Yes.
Commissioner Raley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brody?
Yes.
Mayor Wasserman?
Yes. You say Mayor Wah?
Mayor Wasserman, I might be the line.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes from Wah. All right, let's move on to our regular agenda. We're going to move up agenda item number 11. Are there any objections from the commission to hear agenda item 11 first? No. All right, let's do it. So the discussion and possible action to curbside collection time for recyclable materials in bulk and yard waste. Is there a motion and a second to move item number 11?
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Welch, seconded by Commissioner Raley. All right, Public Works, you're up.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. During the last recycling workshop, the Commission had a few questions regarding the frequency of recycling collection. So from Public Services, Austin Metcalf, Joanne Stanley, and J.P. Turgot are here to address some of those questions, after which Mike Heimbeck will give a short presentation to wrap it up. Thank you.
Thank you, and good evening. I should have passed out a couple materials for y'all just to review. Since we're talking about frequency, you got it? Yep, perfect, that's the one. Since we're talking about frequency, wanted to hit on what the most important aspect of that is, which is education. In the last meeting, we decided to table the billing aspect of it, which is totally fine. Today, I wanted to put forward an option of offering that for free, the technology behind it, contamination tracking, reporting, and whatnot, so that we can gather that data and support the initiatives that y'all have. So this slideshow that you have in front of you in your hand just kind of shows how that works. What would come with that is email notifications, hotspot tracking, so that we can identify neighborhoods, streets, and whatnot to go and educate on an individual basis. And then city events. So just something to consider as we discuss the frequency question. As I mentioned, education is the biggest indicator of success, and we've seen 20 to 40% reductions in contamination when you pair the frequency with a strong educational program. So we've worked with the city and discussed those different aspects of having a robust education package, and feel confident that either option would be very successful. So for that reason, on the recycling frequency, we would say it's a preference to continue with the weekly service and what residents are used to versus the every other week and the cost savings associated with that. But either would be successful with the education package that we're offering. And then for the other item, which is later in the agenda, the bulk and yard waste, we would recommend to continue with weekly service to maintain that continuity with what residents expect and have been conditioned for. And that's all I have for tonight.
Mayor, if you may. I just want to be clear on something, because I'm getting mixed messages on this. For yard waste, okay? And that hasn't become clear, and I don't know if it's Harry, Mike, you, whoever. Are we talking about a cart for yard waste? No. We're not talking about a cart.
No.
We're talking about maintaining yard waste in bulk the same as we are currently under parameters, correct?
Yes, sir. Just a frequency, yes, sir.
Okay, so we're talking frequency. And right now, are we talking about separating? Because right now we got the, what do they call them? The crane trucks, the plum trucks that come, the cherry pick, right? Whatever you want to call them. We're talking about, you're talking about yard waste, right? You're talking about palm fronds, and then you're talking about the furniture, right? So are we talking in this contract? This is important to me, and I want to be clear on the record, because I think we're going to get into some other waste issues later. Two different, under the current contract proposal extension with them, are we talking about two different pickups for those two items? Because right now we're doing that. Right now a truck's coming through and they're taking all the palm fronds, they're taking yard waste, and then another truck's coming through and they're taking furniture and bulk and all the other stuff.
Right, so we're going to continue the same program that we have now. There's going to be a reduction in the maximum bulk that will be allowed in the next contract. But as you know, the Solid Waste Authority has been talking about having a separate collection for yard waste to improve diversion. We do have a price in the agreement for that, but that is at our option when the commission decides they want to do that.
So that option, that's what I want to talk about. That option, is that option a cart yard waste?
No.
Okay.
So the collection price does not include the capital expense of getting carts.
Okay. I'm not a supporter of carts. Right. Just let's be crystal clear with that. So the problem I have with that, a lot of components of this, we're going to mix apples and oranges right now, and I don't want to do that. A lot of components of this are predicated on what we believe the Solid Waste Authority is going to have the authority, bargaining power, collective, whatever you want to call it, to do. Fair?
Yep, fair.
We're really putting, I'm talking to my colleagues right now, we're really putting the cart before the horse. We're talking about an agreement that's predicated on Solid Waste Authority skeleton bone parameters, where we're not going to know really the future of that. I'm going to talk about that in my commission comments. I'm not going down to that now with Madam City Attorney. We're not going to know what the bones of that is and even the viability of that until August, right? So I think, this is my comment right now, we're a little early in talking about this with a contract to the vendor predicated on parameters of SWA. That's my comment. That's my comment today. And and let me tell you why. Because if it fails, we're banking a contract. I'm all for talking about this, bringing back recycling, all of it, all in. But we're predicating numbers, parameters, and methods on am I right with that, Mike?
No, well, basically, we're recommending continuing.
Who said no?
We're continuing.
Sheila said no? Well, no, I don't want him to finish. You said no, so I'm curious to hear that.
So what's proposed when we talk about the prices and the assessment for this year, it leaves the program the same for the bulk and yard waste together. And all we are talking about today, for the purposes of today's discussion, is the frequency of recycling. And we threw in the option, just for a potential cost-saving measure, to consider every other week for bulk and yard waste.
So my question back to that is, but that's presuming a 5-year contract with Republic.
That is for hauling.
Agreed, but these parameters are built into that contract. And tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah, the hauling contract.
Right, for hauling.
But the point I'm trying to make is we're dealing with details on an issue, which I support talking about it, but we're dealing with details on an issue on an agreement that's a somewhat long-term agreement based on parameters from an entity that may or may not exist.
See, I think just from the purposes of simplicity, separate the hauling contract from the disposal contracts that we're negotiating through the SWA.
I'm with you on that.
Right.
I agree with that.
But we'll have to haul regardless.
I'm totally with you.
Okay.
But we're predicated. I mean, listen, Mike, please.
Yeah, no, so, right, as Sheila said, this is the hauling agreement, and we're looking for
Agreed.
feedback on how to, finalize that agreement to come back to you. But there will be a disposal site regardless of whether the SWA moves forward. And we will, work with Republic or the county or whoever that entity is to assure that, and then Republic will take it there.
But that's my point. That's my point, that right now it's a hauling agreement, but it's predicated on principles, assuming the SWA moves forward.
Not necessarily, because there will be a disposal site. So if the SWA goes away, as we have the agreement now with the county, we may join the county for their disposal agreements. So, or we could go off on our own. So we have options. This is just to get Republic in line to haul our garbage. And we've asked these questions because with the SWA in mind, and there are components of the new contract that have the SWA in mind, but it is completely up to the commission to decide to implement those options.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
With the SWA in mind, while it doesn't affect, FY1 or 2 of a
Right.
5-year contract, it affects FY3, 4, and 5.
Right. So
that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
That, well, it's predicated, and to Madam City Manager's point, it doesn't matter for the purposes of hauling today, but it matters for if that entity exists in year 3, 4, and 5.
Right.
That's kind of the point
We're
I'm
making
making.
arrangements in the agreement to address what the master plan has brought forward.
And I think just for separating, again, hauling from disposal, when we get to the discussion of the options of how many days a week, recycling, these are estimates that are provided, assuming we have a contract for disposal. Now, that we have to have some kind of contract for disposal, but if the contracts for
Agreed.
disposal change, it won't impact our Republic agreement. It'll just impact how much individuals are paying.
Well, then I guess I'm going to have a question for our city attorney. What's the latest time we can make these decisions?
I believe essentially we need to make them now or before the end of June. And part of that is because we have to publish the rates, and also because we're coming upon an expiration of the agreement if we don't extend it. And it expires the end of September, so we're really kind of pushing the limit as it is.
I'll defer to my colleagues right now. Mayor, I'd like to readdress it after I hear everyone's comments.
Commissioner Welch.
Okay, thank you. So what we're looking at tonight for consensus is how often the recycle will be picked up and hauled, and how often the bulk and yard waste will be picked up and hauled. The garbage will be picked up twice a week regardless. So, I tried my best to get as many surveys, opinions of the residents and how they feel about it. As much as I'd like to have something like recycling go every other week, it's just not feasible. So I've really rescinded where I was before. I would like if it were on another day, opposite waste, but I don't know how that factors in as far as pricing. The one thing that I would like to see is, well, let me retract. When Commissioner Rydell was talking about the pickup for the pickup of the yard waste and the bulk, it all goes to curbside right now. Can be in the same pile even.
Yeah.
In my neighborhood, in neighborhoods I've seen, there aren't two trucks that come. It's only a second truck comes when the piles of bulk or yard waste are so large that they aren't able to accommodate it on the truck that is currently, we use that, a claw truck?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I just want to be clear, they're not typically sending 2 trucks for current yard and bulk waste, only if it's a special accommodation for...
Yeah, so we probably could go a little more in depth about it, but yeah, so the small bulk, if you will, is picked up with a rear load truck with someone on the back, and then the larger piles are picked up by that clamshell.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I like the idea that we're going to have a 96-gallon container. Is that for recycle as well?
Yes.
Okay, because to Commissioner Rydell's point in our previous discussion, cardboard is one of the biggest items that I can see going in those recycle bins. If our residents are, and I'm going to be very optimistic and the aspirational goal that they're going to do what they're supposed to do and put all of that in there. The one thing I would like to ask is that for the recycling, the bin be a color other than white, and I'll tell you why. Because very few people have the ability to put that bin inside housed it somewhere other than outside, and they get really nasty looking. I try to keep mine clean, but you got mowers right next to you, and what I'm trying to say is if it were another color, I don't know if anybody's got any preference for it, and not only that, not just to keep it looking cleaner, but also to clearly identify that this is a new game in town. This isn't the old white cycle that you put out before and you could dump anything into it. It's a new color. It's a new sheriff in town. And, to prominently display that this is what we're going to do. I don't know. I don't really have a preference for a color, but I think darker is better. And I did read some articles about which color seems to flow a little better to be clearly identified at a recycle, and it looks like blue is one of them, but just not white.
I generally recommend colors that aren't blue, brown, green, that are traditionally also garbage cart colors. So that's why I went with white, but there are some other colors out there that
white
we can look
is I just feel like if we go to a different color other than white, it's clearly going to identify we've got a new, it's a new color, it's a new way of recycling, and just promotes the new.
Commissioner, with all due respect, the goal of this consensus, right? I have Vice Mayor Brody, Commissioner Raley, and I want to get Commissioner Welch to continue to speak. The idea of right now, right, is consensus on once a week or once every other week, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I'd like for you to get back to do the presentation, so then we can do comments after that, because I feel like we got the cart before the horse. Before with Commissioner Rydell, or the horse before the cart. Yeah, so I'd like us to come back for you to do your thing, so then we can really have true commission comments instead of doing commission comments now, then doing the presentation, then going back. So please with your presentation.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you. So. As we've already discussed, we're really here today to discuss whether it's every other week or weekly service for recycling. This is a slide that you similarly saw last time that kind of breaks up some of the issues related to every other week and weekly service, but more specifically, I want to point to that we've narrowed down the additional cost for that weekly service, and it's going to be $339 per month additional, so another $41 per month to the curbside resident. And so the total cost will include, the trucks and the carts and everything necessary to get that program going. And then the second consensus we're looking for tonight is bulk and yard waste. So it came up, how can we maybe reduce some of our cost at the curb? And we got down with Republic and we had that discussion. So some of the positives, with every other week is that it would be a little cheaper. Some of our concerns is that the material will be out on the streets longer, so more people either don't keep track or don't care. That requires code enforcement to do additional work, and the cost reduction, since there's already the investment in the contract cost for Republic, it only reduces the monthly cost of $1.11 to $13 a month. And as we've noted before, the community is used to that weekly service. So I did do this chart for price options. I do want to point out, if you did see the previous one that was issued, we increased the estimated annual assessment to account for early payers, and since they get a discount on their tax bill. So there you see the monthly cost, garbage twice, recycling once, bulk and yard waste once. That's a traditional, typical service, $30 a month. With all the other things added in, comes about $490 a year. Twice a week garbage, every other week bulk, weekly recycling $475, garbage twice, recycling every other week, which we originally discussed, and continuing the bulk is $439. And then a further scale back, still maintaining the garbage, and every other week on the other two is $420.
Was it possible to put current on here, like what we're doing now?
Peter Gage was here.
The current rate?
Yeah.
And $326.54 would be for twice garbage, no recycling, once bulk yard waste, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
But with that said, and we're going to discuss that more at the next meeting. Costs are increasing, so we'll discuss that at the next meeting more in depth. But I did do a couple slides to take a look at the multifamily and commercial and what some of those rates might look like. These rates are if the contract was in place today, and this shows the current rates and the monthly rates, and we see that there is going to be some increases related to service. The rates are based on the disposal cost. The disposal cost will be going up in October, so we'll see another slight increase on top of those new rates then. And then we have the commercial rates. We'll also see an increase. This is a typical 2 cubic yard dumpster, 2 times a week. These are very common levels of service and are typical of what our community will see. And then finally, I know there was some discussion about multifamily recycling at the last meeting, and I just wanted to take a minute to discuss that. I just wanted to let you know that staff in Republic has had extensive discussions on doing different things in the multifamily community because the contract isn't in place and the investments required have not been available, but we are ready to go once the contract is executed. And we're going to look at multifamily in different ways. The old way of doing it, put a cart next to the dumpster and everything is fine, does not work. So the industry does now recognize that. We're going to go to each community, look at it individually, talk to management or HOA folks, and develop a program that fits their needs. That can include things like cardboard dumpsters. On the bottom here on the picture, you see that's a locked cart for your bottles and cans. You can't put a bag in there, so it restricts that access, which is similar to what we've been seeing with our food waste containers. We find that restricting access a little bit creates a better commodity, better quality. I know Sandy's wrestled with our food waste bin out there, but the quality is really good. And that company that we work with, Metro Store, has been developing, has really filled in that area of multifamily recycling. And on the left here, you see a picture of some of their containers that they're developing. So we would look at maybe getting some grant dollars or maybe a pilot program in the future to do that to improve multifamily recycling. So I'll go back to the consensus slide and turn over to the mayor.
Thank you. Did you want, I know I cut you off. Do you want to continue with anything?
No, I mean, are we going to do the consensus one at a time? Your pleasure.
Right, we're only doing consensus on the prices. On the once a week or every other week, right?
Right, for recycling.
So let's move on. Vice Mayor Brody, comments?
Yeah, so hearing all this, I understand that you're the middle mile, all right? This is what we're talking about, the middle mile, hauling it to wherever. Yeah. So the wherever in a contract can be whatever we designate that wherever, right? So if it's solid waste, has the facilities, and that's what it's going to be. But if that fails, in the contract, can we have option B in case of that? I mean, we got to have contingencies for these kind of things. And this has always been my common question with this whole thing going on right now is the out, right? So the out on this is being able to designate 2 drop-off places in the contract so that Republic understands where to take it, and we understand where the contract costs are going to be involved, either A or B, right? So this we can definitely do that, right? Ms. Payburn?
Right, go ahead.
Yes, we can do that. The way that we're currently drafting the contract would be to go to essentially the county's designated spot until the Solid Waste Authority makes their selection, and then it can be changed.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Mr. Rydell. Does that seem to qualify this contract moving forward, in your opinion?
In a perfect world, we're not having these discussions today. We're having these discussions in September.
Right.
That's my answer to you, and I'll tell you why. We will know on August 12th what the future of the Solid Waste Authority is. Period. End of story. That makes a big difference in how we choose to move forward with the mindset of a collective ultimate disposal contract, because this is a hauler contract, but prices are predicated on disposal because Republic's giving us prices on disposal, right? Because that's how it works. What? Well, a little bit, Joanne, because we're predicating. Don't say that from the gallery. So the question is, if we know in September, our preference in the city is today, right? So I'm fine giving consensus on the preference in the city, but I think there's a difference in position in terms of what we intend to do in a 5-year contract with the Republic in September versus today. That's my answer to you.
Yeah, I'm asking your opinion.
Yeah, no, totally. And I only say that because we're going to know
right, and
after
so you got,
August 12th if
you've
this
got the
thing fails
pulse
or
on what's
doesn't.
going on, and we don't. So I want to make sure that I understand in the end result, there's nothing wrong with us saying we get a consensus on having a contract prepared, but not executing it until after a certain date would be your opinion?
Terrell's saying a little different based on a June extension date, but I'm sure obviously with our long-term vendor, we're able to figure something out for a couple months. The only reason I say it is if we're talking today about preference, I'm fine talking about preference. In terms of a 5-year contract, I'm not fine with that today. And if I'm being forced to vote on that, I can't tell you what I'm going to do with that. But preference, we can go with. We're talking about our neighbors, what we want, and I'm down with that today. But in terms of the numbers, the 5-year, I'm a little more hesitant only because I'd really like to see, I'd like to have a glass ball into 3 months from now.
Okay, but we're saying that we need to get this out because we need to arrange for notification of cost to the residents, right? That's what we're talking about.
Right, because it goes on the tax bill, and we have deadlines for submitting that.
It's odd because the contract needs to be, but then this, so it's like, what's the bad timing, right? We're just kind of in a rock and a hard place because solid waste isn't coming till August 12th, but now we have to kind of get this done before a certain time. So what can the city do in that? I don't know.
Well, the decision that's going to be made by this commission is either we're going to jack up our rates by $100 a household a year, or we're going to keep it status quo for another year and then make a decision in a year. I mean, that's really the root issue, right? The root issue is this commission is going to agree to whatever one of these rates are. We're going to jack it up either $60 to $100. That's the reality, right?
Oh no, it's going up. It's going up 100. If we went to the once and once, let's just say, which was kind of like the idea of the last meeting,
which is what I support.
We're going up $165.
Yes. So I'm telling you from a position that I'm more inclined. Me, right? It's 5 of us. I'm more inclined to say, whoa, let's keep it what it is. That's a huge. You want to do that rate increase? I'm not there yet because I don't know the future. If you're telling me solid waste is going to be passed, and the trend is good. 12 cities in the county have approved it unanimously, right? I'll talk to that. I mean, there's a little outlier with my presentation that I'll address, and so will the city attorney. I was going to do that in my comments. I'm happy to do it now, Madam Pyburn, if you want. We can get into it because we're getting into it now in terms of solid waste. But I say it because this is a big decision in the future when you're entering a long-term contract. Like, the benefit of the Solid Waste Authority is a long-term bargaining, which we do every day here. We do it with wireless contracts. We do it with undergrounding. We do it with Main Street. You enter into long-term agreements to guarantee yourself amazing rates. Now, the problem with the Solid Waste Authority is they're asking us to approve something before you get the rates. Now, I misspoke last time, and I think the city attorney regarding an out. There's outs legally, globally. There's not outs for Coconut Creek at any time to say, I'm done, I'm out. Doesn't exist. So you asked me a very direct question last time, and Terrell, I'll ask you to address it because I'm addressing it to Vice Mayor Brody right now. The out of saying we're out as a city doesn't exist. There's global outs, there's termination outs, but for us to say we're done doesn't exist. I was going to get into this in my comments, but I'm happy to talk about it now. Madam, I'll turn to you.
Sure. I don't want to
I'll
confuse the
readdress it.
issues, but I will just go ahead, because we've already sort of touched on that.
Yeah, we did.
At the last meeting, we had discussed the facilities amendment, which is the first amendment to the interlocal agreement between the Solid Waste Authority, the county, and the other cities. And the question was posed whether or not there was a way out of the 40-year deal. And in the facilities amendment, the first amendment, it wasn't clear. And, again, the question was asked, and I apologize, I did not have my copy of the interlocal agreement with me at that time, the underlying agreement. I did have the amendment, but I didn't have the underlying agreement, where it basically provides that kind of the only out is at the time of the facilities amendment, and then after that you're locked in for 40 years. Now, it's my understanding that there's a meeting of the Solid Waste Authority Executive Committee on Monday where they might be discussing the possibility of changing that, and Commissioner Rydell could talk to that a little bit more, but that would require a second amendment. And the issue is that once they have 80% of the cities and the county approval for the First Amendment, you're locked in. So it's possible that we could be locked in before the Second Amendment is drafted or sent around, and the Second Amendment requires approval of 100% of the cities.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that correctly,
Correct.
Commissioner Rydell?
You did.
So, and it's my understanding that on Monday, the Executive Committee will be talking about, a possible situation where there could be an out after the RFP for the disposal contracts, and then again in 2045, which would be sooner than 40 years. But again, you'd have to get 100% of the cities to approve that, including those that have already approved this facilities amendment, which is the Amendment 1. And so I just wanted to make sure that you were aware. I apologize that I may have misspoke at the last meeting. I wanted to clear that up and make sure that everybody was aware of that. We could vote later, not during this item, to rescind that if you want, or we can wait for the amendment. But that's where that is.
I was going to address this in my commission comments, and I obviously misspoke to your direct question. There's termination elements as the governing authority. Solid Waste can, as a board, terminate, right? But us independently cannot. So that was obviously, I think we both kind of misspoke on that to answer your question, John. But the reason for 40 years, let me just explain it, is because you will have a vendor that will buy infrastructure to guarantee cheaper rates. That's the reason you give a long-term deal, because you're going to have X waste company on disposal or recycling saying, hey, we're going to give you the cheapest rates as a global because you have the tonnage, you have all the stuff. I support it as is. I support it. Do I support an out? There's like 3 creative outs that are going to be discussed on Monday. I support having outs too, but I'm also here saying unequivocally I support the Solid Waste Authority. I support doing it because I think it's going to save us a bunch of money. If this thing burns down, we're at the whim of private industry at the end of the day. So, I mean, this commission binds 30, 40, 50-year contracts as is already every day with wireless communications. So I have no problem with that, but I did miss, that was, I think both of us were a little incorrect with that. Now, there's outs being provided. Let me just explain what it is. There's a change to make it to 25. There's a change making it contract-based. If the change for 25, so that essentially means it's going from 40 to 25. That's one option. We're discussing it Monday. The other option is going to say RFP-based, meaning you can opt out after the RFP is given so you know what the rates are. So we're going to give the RFP, we're going to put it on the streets. If a vendor comes back, you have the ability of saying, that's not for me, I'm out, before you engage in a long-term contract. The downside of that, of 25 years, and I'll just tell you, no private industry is going to invest significant infrastructure with a 25-year contract. Private industry wants 30, 40 years to build transfer stations, to build recycling centers. They want the guarantee of the tonnage to build. The county can't do it. County doesn't have the land, right? On the RFP side, it's going to give cities the ability of seeing, which I think is genius, personally. It's kind of what I've been advocating and quasi-writing. But so you have the RFP on the street, you know what your rates are. So as us as a body is like, oh my God, if that's the rates you're going to guarantee me for 40 years, I'm in. That's a no-brainer to me. But those are the amendments we're talking about. And just understand, the Solid Waste Authority as a board can wind down. That exists. Like that for the global wind down exists as a board, not us individually. So if I misspoke on that or there was some misinterpretation, I want to clear it up with you because you asked me a direct question and I'm impeccable with my word, and that was unclear if I was wrong. So I apologize for that if there was a misinterpretation. But it matters for this discussion for the future of a hauler agreement. And whether or not industry says it matters for this agreement, or our city staff wants to say, oh, it doesn't matter because we need haulers. We do, but the parameters of that, I think, make a big difference on the future of what happens with SWA, as well as this. Because if we approve this, we're going to initiate, public outreach to increasing this $150 for these parameters. And I don't know if I'm there right now. I mean, I hate to say I want to kick the...
Yeah, let John
Let me finish my comments, too.
Yeah, I wanted to just answer that to you
you
because
did.
it was important that I'm directing that to you.
And we'll spank you later about being correct.
There's no spanking. Spank the city attorney. Don't spank me.
With all this, I am starting to really feel that we're way ahead of something, and I think there's got to be some middle ground between that meeting and when we have to submit all this stuff to the public. I think we need to give solid waste as much time as possible to come up with their 2 cents on this and give us some direction, because that will impact pricing. That will impact the long term of this contract. And I think right now we're talking about rainbows and unicorns right now because it doesn't mean anything until we know what the solid waste is going to do. So we're a little bit, once again, ahead of what we need to be. I think maybe take a step back, and I don't know if anybody's got the taste for it to actually say table this yet, but I think we need to hear out Commissioner Raley, because I know she wants to speak on this too. But I think we need to really kind of, while we're listening, kind of think about, are we ready to make a consensus, or do we just wait, be patient? I'd like to hear Commissioner Raley's opinion.
Well,
Commissioner Raley.
this being confusing is to say the least. This is a very difficult decision to make, and it's a very difficult subject because there are too many factors that are up in the air. All right, we're juggling balls here, literally. But I think we have to make a decision. We've got to start somewhere. Our residents want recycling. We want it. We're going to go forward with it. Is there any way that we can have a contract and then readdress once the SWA comes in? I mean, because this is going to be a bulk contract, basically, when SWA sets in. So if we could at least get started, and then once Solid Waste Authority kicks in, then we can adjust.
Yeah, so let me point out. So we're committed to Broward County until July of 28. So we have to send them that waste regardless of what the Solid Waste Authority. Also, our plan is to piggyback the recycling contract of Hollywood with Coastal. We'll probably enter into a 1-year agreement for that. So, and then we can renew it as needed. So we can wait for the Solid Waste Authority to make those arrangements, and then we can transition to that. The other thing I'd point out is that the Solid Waste Authority has indicated they want to rely on what is already existing in infrastructure. That doesn't mean someone's not going to build a new plant. But on day one, the places that we're going to go in now will very likely be the places we go with the Solid Waste Authority, but hopefully at a slightly lower cost. So there's not enough, no facility has enough capacity to handle everything, except maybe for the waste management at Murph and Pembroke Pines. So the players today will be the players tomorrow, and then we can transition to the Solid Waste Authority as needed.
And if I could just make one point of clarification, recognizing this is the hauling contract, for the purposes of our expectation is that we will be bringing the contract back with you where you'll make these final decisions. This discussion was so that we would know what to put in that contract for your consideration. It also gets us prepared to do the notices related to the trim notice for billing. And that's why, so these are estimated annual assessments for the purposes of that trim notice, which do have a bit of a fire under them.
But I guess my point, just to inject, my point is, like, I don't want to say this. I agree everyone wants recycling. I want recycling. I want all of it back. I would love, and this is going to sound terrible, I'd love to like kick the can down the road 6 months to say, hey, we're going to do it, but I'd love to see where we're at a little later. But I'm being told by you, we don't have that ability because we got to, if we're going to institute a rate hike, I get it. We have to publish it. It's trim. It's the same thing as millage. We got to deal with it.
So annually we consider the rates, and annually we expect them to change. Right now, we'll have the disposal contract through the county through 28, but every year, the disposal rates will be a negotiated rate, and this will be the assessment rate, not the contract rate for hauling, but the assessment rate will change.
I agree with you, and the hard part with this is we're essentially going to be, arguably, depending on what this commission decides, advertising a tremendous rate increase.
It's
however you want to cut it.
No, you're right. So is it possible to? I mean, let's say. I mean, and Commissioner Rydell said six months, but is it possible to do a 1 year without this recycling, and then in year 2 we come back at this time to amend for years 2, 3, 4, 5 of the contract, so we can have more clarity on some of what's going on? I mean, that's kind of like, that's what makes sense. I'd hate for us to make a decision for our residents when we don't have all the information at the table. It just doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel good to know that the 5 of us are up here having to make decisions that are going to affect people's money that they put out, and we don't have all the information to back it up. So I am not comfortable doing anything, like that today. I would be. Is that a possibility to do what I just said?
So under the contract as it exists, it provides for 1 5-year renewal. So we have the ability at this point in time to renew it for 5 years. We have, initially, recycling was included in the contract in 2019 and in the RFP. We backed recycling out of it around 2021. Legally, we could extend the contract for 5 years for just hauling garbage and bulk waste and add in recycling presumably in a year. I don't know if the vendor agrees to that. I'm telling you, just legally, that would be okay.
So if the vendor didn't agree to that, what would the city do next? Would we go to an RFP?
Put it on the street?
Yes. However, again, keep in mind that the contract is set to expire the end of September, and that's a very quick turnaround for a very large contract. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying it is.
No, I understand. But I would think that the vendor would respect our lack of knowledge of the future in being a partner that we've been and recognizing what's to come. To put us backs against the wall to agree to something. Commissioner Raley, you have something?
Yeah. Am I missing something here? If we're looking to recycle, and this is what it's going to cost, we knew there was going to be a cost to it. But then when the solid waste kicks in, we can negotiate those costs anyway. So I don't understand why we're saying that there are so many variables that we don't know. Do we want to recycle or we don't want to recycle? That's the bottom line. We know it comes with a cost, right? One way or another. So if we sign it up now, and then when solid waste master plan kicks in, then we go back to the drawing board and we can adjust the cost rates. So I think that's really what we have to come to a consensus here. Are we going to recycle or we're not?
Commissioner Welch.
Yes, thank you. All right, so just to give a little timeline, we have until the end of June to provide numbers for the trim notices, right?
Okay, good evening. So for the trim notice, we have until August 8th to submit everything to the property appraiser, but we normally get consensus on the rate from the commission. And since we don't have any meetings in July, we would have to get that by the end of June so we can publish that rate.
Okay.
And keeping in mind that that rate that's published doesn't have to be the final rate, but it's the maximum rate that you could go for the year.
Can't be higher, it can be lower.
It can be lower. You can publish a higher rate and adopt a lower rate.
But it can't be higher than what we've published.
Correct.
It can be lower.
Yes.
Okay, so now we've got clarity as to why we're talking about it, decision by end of June. The contract is due for renewal when?
It expires September 30th, so basically we need something in place before October 1st.
Is there a possibility of something? All right, so given that it could possibly be a 5-year contract.
For the renewal, yes.
Yes, it can't be less than that. It must be 5 years.
Essentially, yes.
Okay, so at the end of 1 year, what and how would it be renegotiated if we were to make a decision on the frequency and of the recycling and the bulk and yard waste?
Are you talking about adding in recycling for the first time at that point, or are you talking about changing
adding
the frequency?
recycling at the time of renewal?
So you're basically just talking about a year into the 5-year renewal, adding recycling in.
Yes.
You know, legally, I believe that's doable. As far as if you start changing the frequency of everything, that changes rates.
No, I'm
that
not talking about changing the frequency. Let's just say, just hypothetically, that we go with the
Everything stays the same but for recycling.
option. No, I'm saying keeping recycling. If we go in with option number 1, hypothetically, then next year at annual renewal, what are our options to negotiate a differing price based on having valid information from the SWA master plan votes? I think this will be helpful and add a little less angst to putting the curbside recycling back to the residents, which they have been asking for a long time. But I just need to add clarity about if we do one thing, what are our options the following year? You know, if we bite the bullet and give them what they've asked for, then next year, what are our options if we are hooked up directly with the SWA in their pricing?
As stated earlier, we're committed to Broward County for garbage disposal until July of 2028, and we have that commitment due to an interlocal agreement we entered into with the county prior to anything related to the Solid Waste Authority or Republic. Separate and apart from that, we're looking at piggybacking off of an existing contract for disposal of recycling.
Yes.
It's my understanding that we're looking at disposing of it at Coastal through
Correct.
Hollywood's contract. There may be other contracts if we want to look at that. But that is, I believe, what some of these numbers are precipitated on. But I want to make sure that we're not confusing the act of hauling the garbage, which obviously is going to be impacted by the number of times per week that they pick it up, with the actual disposal of the garbage. I should have said garbage and recycling and bulk, of the actual disposal of the garbage and recycling in bulk, with which that's a pass-through cost that will be dependent on, for example, the piggyback contract, which we don't have yet. I mean, we have looked at it, but we haven't approved it yet.
It's a part of this formula, right?
No.
It's not?
No.
Okay.
Right, so that could be looked at annually. If we decide that the Solid Waste Authority has a better option, next year we go to that. It really, for purposes of this contract, that's just going to dictate, where they take it.
Right. Right.
Say that again, dictate what?
Where they take it, where they
Right.
dispose of it at.
Okay.
And there may be increased costs if it's much further away.
Correct.
But that language is written into the contract with a specific distance, which I believe right now is 6 miles.
6 miles, which is generally encompasses all facilities near us.
And that one facility is brand new, so.
Right, and it's just
Okay.
outside the city limits.
And it's certainly extremely nearby. So to me, those kinds of timelines and when information is needed to next year, after this is rolled out, if everyone agrees, to bring recycling back, to have an option next year to readdress. No?
I guess, can I piggyback on you, Commissioner Welsh?
Sure.
What would be, I guess, no one has this data because it's never been provided to me or anybody. Just curious, Mike, if you have it, if Joanne has it, if we kept the status quo of the contract for year one, what's the rate? Do you guys have that?
Yeah, it's $10 less than that 29, so it's...
I'm just curious. So what I'm asking is if, let's say, year one of a 5-year is status quo, we're doing the same thing, nothing's changing, what's that rate for the purposes of notification?
Yeah, it's approximately, I don't have it in front of me, but it's approximately...
I hope the people behind you have that number.
It's six... Yeah, it's like around $26, I think.
So it's a $26 increase if we were to keep status quo.
Yeah. No, the increase.
What I'm asking for is, correct. If we renewed 5 years as is.
Yeah.
No changes, as is. And I'm not trying to suggest not recycling. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm just curious what that is to say.
So it's minus 120.
Yeah.
And
But I'm doing a comparison for the sole purpose that if if status quo is $10 cheaper for year one, and we have the ability of reinventing year two when we have a little bit clarity on the global situation.
Yeah, but that's going to be we're going to need cooperation from the vendor
off of the
on that.
500.
I agree.
Okay.
But right now we're locked in, and Terrell, correct me if I'm wrong. We've backed out recycling. We have a 5-year option, as is with rates. We have a locked-in contract right now with status quo terms that should have a number. Fair?
We could do that. Yes.
So on back of the napkin, we're coming up with about 325, 350 for an assessment.
What was it?
About 325, 350, depending on how we parse it.
Where we're at right now.
But I also want to make sure you're not looking at, when you look at the estimated annual assessment, that includes the fee to the SWA, the
I get
franchise
it.
fee, all of that stuff.
No, but what the only number here that's not presented to us tonight is 5-year status quo.
True.
So what we weren't given is let's keep it as is. And I'm not suggesting there's clear consensus. We're going back to recycling, but you should present status quo. That's all. And no one has that number.
But to your point, the status quo, don't we have a pass-through number for that as well?
No one seems to be able to tell us that.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because then we would truly have an apple of keeping it as is with no recycling, which I won't be able to sleep tonight if we do that. But as opposed to the pass-through for what we're seeing here.
We're ripping a Band-Aid off year one right here. It doesn't need to be year one. It could be year two. Those options aren't here. Correct. This is pulling the Band-Aid off and starting immediately. So what the option is not presented is, I guess the point I'm trying to make is like we're pulling the trigger year one. If we're 5-yearing it in with them, it doesn't need to be year one. It could be year two, and we're going to go to this year two, and it could be. There's no comparison to what a 5-year extension and what year one would look like status quo? Because at the end of the day, we're picking all these twice, once, 3 times, right? But what's status quo look like? What if it's a 5-year contract extension under the current market terms of what we're doing? What is that?
Right. So
and how do we not have that number at this meeting?
Or what does the status quo look like
Yeah.
with the pass-through? Which is what this is in that last column of the estimated annual assessment.
Right. So I think we'd have to go back and take a harder look at that to give you a very close to hard number on that. I would warn you, though, and I can't speak for Republic, if you do add recycling at a later time, spreading those capital costs over 4 years opposed to 5 will raise the cost.
That makes sense because the capitalization for the equipment and highest technology. I don't know. I feel like because we have an option next year and we are able to roll out the curbside recycling this year, and because that's what we told residents we were going to do. I mean, we've already communicated it. It's not as if we haven't said that. And don't take that as I'm totally in favor of a large increase. But we've known from the get-go, Mike has always made that very clear in the city that he came from before he returned to Coconut Creek, that it does come at a cost. But if the residents want it,
Right.
it doesn't come free.
But what I'll also say to that is residents want it, but some people don't know the sticker price of what they want. And they might not realize that let's say we went 1-1, right? I mean, $164 increase.
But we don't know that that's the final number or not, because it doesn't include, the status quo doesn't include the pass-through like this does. So we don't have that number now.
Of what the increase would be. So right now, in the current contract, it's $326. So you're saying if we did another 5 years status quo, we don't know what that number would be.
Right.
Right. So we can't even make the educated choice of what it would be to do that. So if that went up to like $380, for example,
Yeah.
to us it might say, you know what, for $380 for another $110.
You see what I mean?
I could justify that more in my head.
It might not be that far removed from one another.
Got it.
So,
That makes sense.
I mean, I know I probably took baby steps to get there, but it just seems like to me that's how it.
So when can we get a number of what status quo would be?
So I think we could come back in 2 weeks with that. We would have to sit down with Republic because they've made some assumptions as to recycling and the diversion of that waste out of the garbage. And so we need to go back and speak with them. And if you want years 2 through 5 processing, we could talk to them about that also.
So listen, does this have to be decided today on May 14th, or could it be decided on May 28th?
It certainly can be decided on May 28th, and then we could, I mean, the goal of this evening was to bring forward the question that wasn't answered at the last meeting and to move this forward. We still don't have the contract language before you, so this was.
Commissioner, right now. I'm happy to give my 2 cents on the options for the future, but I'm also, I would like to ask for consensus to direct the city manager, right, to negotiate with Republic. They're here to say, hey, we're committed to being long-term business partners. Can we do, like, we're about to be like on our own in September or whatever. Can we do like a 6-month temporary as-is extension while we're negotiating the future of the city, whether it's X number of years, Y number of years, whatever it is for the future? I think it's important to say, hey, we're all under the gun right now. I don't know if I feel it a little bit. I feel it with some other issues, but if the vendor, I'm speaking to you guys while they're listening, if the vendor says, you know what, let's extend 6 months as is, keep the same rates, keep whatever it is, so we can figure it out and do it right, I don't know if the city manager is willing to do that. I don't know if there's consensus to do that, because I feel right now we are all under the gun on a hard date with trim and a hard date with a contract expiration. And those are bad parameters of getting into a bad deal because we're under the gun. Yeah. So that's my position.
Commissioner Raley.
The trim, we knew we were going to have costs anyway. That's what I'm trying to say. We knew we know we want to recycle. We can't sign a 5-year contract without recycling. I don't know about you, but I can't go out there to our residents and say, sorry, we're not recycling for 5 more years.
That's not what I'm trying to say.
So and we know this comes with a cost, and we can't stay status quo. We can't. We know that, right? We know that that's a fact, isn't it? Am I being just logical here? We have to move forward. We have to. So all I'm saying, I think if we should at least make a consensus what we agree on tonight. We should at least do that of what we, if we were going to sign this, what we were going to include. Once a week, once every other week. I think that we should at least get to. It's not written in stone. We're not signing contracts tonight. We just give a consensus, my feeling.
Brody.
I'm actually going to agree with Ms. Raley. I think getting the Chinese menu down to one item is what we need to do right now. I think when we start talking about negotiating a contract, I'm in agreement with Mr. Rydell that we need to ask to see if we can get an extension so the hard date isn't the pressure point of us making a bad decision or an uninformed decision. So I'm going to agree that tonight we need to pick what we're going to negotiate the contract with. And then 2, we need to see, let's push this contract out to make sure that we're not making a bad decision for our residents. I think we owe it to 60,000 people to make an intelligent decision on this. And I'm sure I know it's frustrating for you guys to be out here on this thing, but we got to look at what's best for the community, and I think we just need to make sure we've got this all lined up correctly. So I'm kind of willing to say right now, let's pick the Chinese menu down to one item, and then let's also talk about how we negotiate this so we don't have the pressure on our backs. Because I think right now, the whole June date's going to really screw us. And I think we just need to really kind of pump the brakes a little bit, get the gap, make informed decisions. I mean, we're going to do it. We're going to recycle. All of us up here all think the same thing. It's just we got to make sure that we're doing it smartly.
So, Commissioner Brody, which of the options would you want to bring consensus for?
Mayor, if I could just bring one point up, because I think it's important. These are locked-in options. The options I see is there may be in my world, and I said this at our last meeting, a different world than this locked in. My year one may look, I'll tell you this right now, my year one, I'm saying this to all of you because this is my quasi-consensus. My year one is number one. That's my year one. My year one is number one. Garbage twice, recycling once, bulk waste once. That's my year one. That's my vote for year one. Now, year two, I'm down for re-education. We're scaling it back. We're changing things. But if you're going to put in a new system, we're not ripping a Band-Aid off and doing bulk twice a week or twice a month. So I'll give you my consensus. It's one, but scaled one that we can educate. They have a great, I mean, listen, I don't know if you all talked to Joanne. Their outreach, their media, like they're good partners. I feel like we've been like banging on Republic a little bit tonight. Great partners. So just hear it from me. Great partners, continued relationship, but it's a scaled approach. So if we're trying to really reduce, reuse, recycle, year one, I'm down with twice, once. Year two, I'm down to go to every other week.
Let me ask you, when does your year one start?
I don't know that answer.
So year one could be next year.
But so the reality is you're asking us these in a vacuum, and I can't select one of these options in a vacuum with the understanding that I believe, the most effective thing is a scaled approach to this.
And I agree with you. I think if we're just saying what timelines do we want to do these things, great. I think we leave the dollars off it now.
Then if we're doing that, Vice Mayor, my consensus is option one for year one, and then to readdress the frequency with education from the city and Republic.
Okay.
And we can certainly look at that language in the contract.
Okay.
I have a question.
Question, Commissioner?
So if that were to be the case, And the contract is if, we don't even know if that's a consideration, if it were to be extended for 6 months. We've already advertised a number consistent with keeping things as they are. What happens when that 6 months is up? And when does something different happen as to bringing recycle back? Because we don't have the money for it. We haven't budgeted the money for it. We haven't received we haven't advertised the money to make that happen.
So
even if they extend it 6 months, we've got another 6 months to go.
So I think what I heard was the consensus was to look at the contract language and provide for incremental changes annually to allow us to, for instance, take advantage of people getting better at recycling and reducing the garbage, for instance, to once a week. So I think that's, if we're going down the road of actually being really positive, we would increase the recycling and decrease the garbage collection.
Mm-hmm.
And, the other option that we always have thrown in that we weren't proposing to exercise in year one was the yard waste. So those are, let us look at the language as to how those things are rolled out annually.
Okay.
All right.
But I don't know that that would necessarily take a 6-month extension. I think that's us.
Well, can you give us
looking at the
options
contract
before we return on the 28th? But if we're able to provide the options, in our opinion, right now, tonight? Give us the real number for staying the same as it is.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the language. Can we bring that back on the 28th?
So I think yes, without looking at the contract in front of me, I think we'll need to meet and negotiate the language to allow that moving target annually.
Well, I can say one thing. I'm sure glad we didn't wait until that contract was negotiated before we came back.
Right, that's
before
what
it came before us. I'm so glad that we're having these candid conversations, at least by now, which, anyway. So
right.
option one is my optimal consensus.
Commissioner Raley, option one? Or do you have a different option?
Option one.
Brody, I think you already said one. One as well.
Wow.
But
We all agreed.
but with the, obviously we all want what we want, but we also want to be fully educated on the story. So, there's nothing else to it. So appreciate you guys taking the work for the next meeting to give us some more knowledge, more information. And I think that's, we need another consensus on.
So for clarity, my expectation is, that it would be a 5-year contract if we can work out the language that allows us that flexibility annually to modify.
It's already part of it.
Is that, I'm trying to understand if
That
that's.
would be my consensus. Me personally, Mayor, I apologize.
No, go.
That would be my consensus. But I also think in the negotiating room, there's other flexibilities there. Where if we're hypothetically asking for a 6-month extension, I don't think a little bit of a longer term or something like that with the right language is out of the realm. I'm not directing a delineated time right now, and I understand that
Okay.
that's what the contract as is says, X number of years. I'm saying if we have a partner that wants to be a partner and then they want to work with us incrementally on a year system, I think that there's, maybe a longer, I don't know.
Okay.
I can't say that.
So the consensus for two was a part of the option one, right? So we're good to go. All right. City Clerk, are there any members of the public who have signed up to speak on this item?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Yeah, I'm just going through the language.
Oh, I didn't know if it was a voting item, Mayor. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
I thought I said
Is
that
there
in my
anyone
head.
else
I didn't
present
realize
who
I
would-
said that out loud.
You said it. Is there anyone else present who would like to provide input on this item? All right, Commission definitely have asked enough questions and comments for tonight. Is it we will, you got the consensus, right? All right, moving along. Resolution 2026-067, a resolution approving the Antigua 2 Condominium Association application for matching grant funds for the Neighborhood Enhancement Grant Program for Security Enhancements. Is there a motion and second to approve agenda item number 8? Or do you want to recuse yourself, Commissioner Raley?
Yes, Mayor, at this time I would like to recuse myself due to my affiliation to Winmore Community Council.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Is there a motion and second to approve agenda item number 8?
Motion.
Motion by Brody.
Second.
Seconded by Welch. Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from the City Commission? City Clerk, are there any members of the public who have signed up to speak on this item?
Not at this time, Mayor.
We do have a visitor from Antigua here as well. Hello. Thank you for your patience. Apologies. Is there anyone any present? No? Are there any further questions from the Commission? Sure.
I just want to say I love Antigua. Woo! That's all I got.
That's not a question, that's a comment. All right, Clerk, please call roll.
Commissioner Rydell?
Yes.
Commissioner Welch?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brody?
Yes.
Mayor Wasserman?
Yes. Congratulations, you stuck it out.
Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
Sleep tight.
Yes, I will.
Resolution 2026-074, a resolution authorizing the city manager designee to execute amendment number 2 of the independent contractor agreement with Landlocker IT Solutions LLC and ratifying the original agreement and all applicable amendments. Is there a motion, a second to approve?
Move it.
So seconded.
Approved by Welch, seconded by Rydell. IT's here to make a report. Jackie's coming back. Jackie, you didn't have to hide. You didn't have to hide behind the door.
Here, out there. I don't know when you're done.
You could have just rolled. You could have just turned
Mayor,
around.
is this the IT director about to give us a presentation?
It looks like.
Oh, wow.
He's been patient.
I've been patient, yes. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, Commissioners. We're here for the approval of an agreement with Landlocker LLC and its subsequent amendments. Landlocker was engaged when we had a critical situation where our senior network engineer departed, offered critical assistance at the time with knowledge transfer, supported continuity of operations, right, and infrastructure support. It's extremely hard to find the specialized knowledge of our systems, being that we're very custom. So we found that in Mr. Kershaw with Landlocker LLC, and we'd like to continue that engagement, especially now where we lost our applications manager. So that was the individual where the knowledge transfer from the departure of our previous director was moved, and we lost that with the departure of our applications manager.
Any questions? Yes, sure, Commissioner.
I sometimes wonder when people come up with the names of their companies, and I just, if you want to be in the IT world, Landlocker, I don't really know. Maybe a DBA should be there, like, wireless solutions, but that's all I got. I support the item this evening. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
All right. City Clerk, any...
LAN. I'm an idiot. It's local area network. Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rick.
Get it? Because it could have been land. Okay. He got it now.
Very slow to the party.
01010110.
But solid waste, you're very knowledgeable.
Mayor, I'm still using a rotary phone.
City Clerk, are there any members of the public who signed up to speak on this item?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Is there anyone present who'd like to speak on this item? All right, please call roll, Clerk.
Commissioner Rydell?
YES.
Commissioner Welch?
Yes.
Commissioner Raley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brody?
Yes.
Mayor Wasserman?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next, a motion to consider establishing a 3:30 p.m. start time for the August 13th, 2026 City Commission meeting. Is there a motion, a second, to approve number 10?
So moved.
Rydell, Brody. City Manager will make the report.
Thank you, Mayor and Commission. I'm trying to go fast.
What are we voting on?
On the motion to change the time.
It says City Manager will make a report. I'm reading the thing.
Oh, the 3:30 meeting.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was
It says City Manager will make the report. Oh,
Okay.
apologies,
So
apologies,
August
please,
13th.
apologies. Thank you.
August 13th, we're proposing to have the budget meeting from 11 to 3:15, immediately start our regular meeting at 3:30, so that you all have the opportunity, if you so choose, to go to the League of Cities opening session.
Super dupes. I said super dupes, I think. That means super duper. Super duper. So are there any questions from the committees? Nothing?
The only request I would make is that this is public. I volunteer. I think I would just ask that this be
advertised,
not just advertised, published. Obviously, advertisement requirements are like a notification. I'd like this to be pushed out that the meeting's earlier. That's all.
Thank you, Commissioner. City Clerk, are there any members of the public who signed up to speak on this?
Not at this time, Mayor.
All right. So, is there anybody who would like to speak? All right. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Rydell?
Yes.
Commissioner Welch?
Yes.
Commissioner Raley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor
Yes.
Brody? Mayor Wasserman?
Yes. City Manager. Now it's the City Manager report.
Thank you. I am pleased to give you an update related to the design and Fire Station 113 and the administrative facilities. The group has reached about a 50% design milestone, and PERTL will be working on our preliminary cost estimates so that we really get a better handle on what this facility will actually cost. It will be going to the Development Review Committee during the month of June. So things are moving along very nicely in that area. We also had a meeting with all the staff involved associated with the design and the scope of services for the police department and the police reno. The expectation is that will be done in 2 phases, with the apparatus bays that are there now being demolished, the new building being constructed in their place, and then following the remodeling of the existing space and then the addition, if the budget provides, for the firing range. So making great progress in that area. The only other thing, 2 things I'd like to offer is that next week we'll be in basically all-day budget meetings with each department. So Peter Gay and I will spend a lot of time together next week going through each of those individual budgets. So there won't be much time to do anything else. But I would like to say a big thank you to the city attorney and her amazing staff. We spent over 2 hours today going through the various new and pending legislation and how it impacts the city. And it was such a thorough presentation. It scared everybody a little bit. But there are so many bills that impact how we operate, from publishing budget issues to land development issues. A little bit overwhelming, but they were able to put it together in a way that made it easily to understand and almost just a checklist about what we have to do. So thank you to Terrell.
Thank you, City Manager Rose.
I got you back.
I was just going to mention that we are evaluating recent legislation that passed and its impact on us, and we will work with staff to ensure compliance by each of the bill's effective dates, including Senate Bill 1134, which is DEI, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, for example, which was signed on April 22nd and is effective or will be effective on January 1st of 2027. We believe that may have some impact on some of our proclamations, our policies, and even our events, and we are looking at that, and we will report back to you what we find. Thank you.
Commissioner Rydell.
I'll keep my comments brief this evening. The Sabres are losing. It's disappointing. Very briefly, I intended to address the solid waste issues that we talked about earlier. That was my intent with Madam City Attorney. We had talked about that. They've been addressed. I will tell everybody we have a meeting on Monday. I don't want to say it's an emergency, but it's a meeting on Monday to get consensus on potential amendments. I'll make sure to advise our city manager and our city attorney exactly what happens so that information can be relayed. Yeah, if you want to come virtual, the link will be circulated, so that can be circulated to all of you. Really amazing community events, but the one thing I want to advise you all of that I just found out recently, October 20th, which happens to be my wife's birthday, is also Community Media Day. So August 20th is known as Community Media Day. So I would like, in lieu of that we can have a proclamation given to David Volz, on October 20th, October 20th, that we can give David the Community Media Day proclamation for his amazing writing and reporting. So I'd just like to put that out for our city manager. If you guys are okay with that, I think David,
And his picture taking.
fantastic. So October 20th, which is my wife's birthday, which is now Community Media Day, I do support a proclamation to David Voles. Thank you, Mayor.
I have to follow that? Not anything to do with you, David. Okay.
David's here.
I know, I see him. Okay, so I didn't see it, but I thought it was, I heard about it. My husband came home and told me about it. When the firefighters had their new hire commitment walk 5 miles from Station 50 to Station 94 down Lyons in full gear. So I think it's just it was very important that residents that don't normally consider all the gear and that the firefighters and the EMS workers, as well as our finest standing here, wear, and all types of weather. Thank God you weren't going up and down Lyons Road, but anyway, it was just very impressive, and I think it did make a statement. Now, by the way, I'm not suggesting that you all do that for your new recruits. We had the MPO meeting today. We had the MPO meeting today, and of course there was an item on the agenda about the Coconut Creek interchange, and they even emphasized more than once that this was separate and apart from any turnpike expansion work that was being considered. So I did have to comment. I think everyone, they saved that till the very last item on the agenda. I wonder why, because they know that there are only a few of us long haulers that stay for the entire meeting. But nonetheless, I did have to mention that while I thought they listened to a great deal of feedback and made the interchange more logical, especially as far as freight trucks coming in and out of Blount Road, and then north and south on the turnpike, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that while that might be a separate consideration, that we were still opposing any expansion of the turnpike from 6 to 10 lanes, but rather 6 to 8. So, but they did give us a good summary. They had the director of MAP that was speaking for her last time. She turned it over to another director, but they gave each one of us individual pieces of all the MAP projects heretofore and those that are coming in 27. And the director, Stewart, even mentioned that soon we would be having a ribbon cutting for the pedestrian lighting surtax money that is should be, it's in the process. But I think this is good information to communicate to the residents that penny tax wasn't just a penny tax in the county. It actually is going to be legitimized right here in the city. So I posted it. I don't know if you want to, Sheila, for the media. And thank you for the draft or the notice that was going to be sent out to the Community and Rec Center users. And this goes out tomorrow. Is that the case? Okay, but thank you for the heads up onto it. It was definitely well thought out. The letter, the accompanying letter was also, and I loved that it was signed your Parks and Recreation. I mean, it was very inclusive, and I just wanted to say that. Then I need to ask consensus, because you know it's late, so I know you'll agree.
No.
Oh, why did I not expect that? Okay, so I was asked, I don't know why, but to serve as a panelist at the Florida PTA Leadership Convention in July of this year, and it's on a Saturday, so I'm asking permission or consensus to utilize funds to be able to travel, maybe go the night before. You have to think about it?
Where is it?
It's in Orlando. Did you reconsider?
I'll give consensus for a La Quinta.
And at the Florida League, when it's held in Orlando, we're going to put you there also.
I pay for my own room at that event.
Okay, so I take that as a yes. Thank you very much.
All right. I just want to congratulate all the awardees this evening. It was great. It was a great night. I also want to congratulate Janet Hull and Danielle and Mike Rodriguez on their promotions. God bless. We're very lucky in the city. We have great employees and a great succession program. So thank you all. That's very good news. And just have a great weekend.
Thank you, Mayor. Wow, we got a great city. You know, I drive around all day long, and I'm just amazed. You know, you get waves, especially when I'm in the Jeep. I get the waves from the guys working, and it's just, you know, it's kind of a cool place to live. I got to think the whole world's jealous of us here, right? Because this is incredible. I was driving down Lyons Road, and the guys, they saw my Jeep coming, probably heard it, but they start waving. You know, I get to the next intersection. I'm parked next to a police car at the light, and he rolls his window down. He says, hello. That's stuff that you just is organic to a good place to live, and it's just.
Mayor, are they doing that? They're doing that.
It could be a butt kissing. Okay, I'll concede that, but you know, it's still thank you. So it's just really great to live here, and I only have one thing that's coming up. I need a consensus on.
No.
Yeah, I only need 3. So Florida.
La Quinta.
Damn, La Quinta again. Florida League of Mayors is hosting a leadership seminars. It's free except for the hotel. So I just need to have a consensus saying that we can use some budget money to get the hotel. But the 3-day event is completely free for all of it. Cape Canaveral.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So can I?
All jokes aside, consensus yes, and I look forward to hearing what you bring back.
Oh, yeah, listen, it's a great bunch of people going to be up there, too. So I appreciate it.
Have fun.
Thank you.
See you there.
I'm at the Cape Canaveral, the Quintet. That's it? That's it.
Do you have any update on when Gray Star, when that'll be complete? Anything new?
Looking good.
I apologize. What is the question?
Oh, no, it's okay. The question is a Gray Star update. Timeline, how's it looking? What we got going on?
Everything's moving forward. You know, it's been looking a little barren because they're now starting to install the landscaping. So the landscaping will be installed, and they're ramping up everything with that. We are finalizing their tree mitigation calculations, and the interior permits are moving forward as well, and inspections.
Has there been any hiccups with things that were said that would be done that is not being done?
No, everything that they've committed to doing is being completed, and all of their permits that they need to get they're responding very well to it, and we have a good working relationship with them.
Thank you. What about the storage facility behind Sprouts?
That's underway. You've probably seen there was a question a few weeks back about the status of that. They are now, I think they're on their 5th floor. I was out there the other day. So, yeah, they're moving very smoothly.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.